I'm Ellie, registered nurse and vascular health educator, and I want to start this video with a statement that I need you to really hear. If you spend more than 6 hours a day sitting, and research tells us that most adults over 60 do, your leg veins are under chronic, ongoing, measurable stress. Not because of your age, not because of a medical condition you were born with, because of the sitting, because of the hours of unbroken, uninterrupted sitting that has become the default structure of modern retirement and older adult life. 6 or more hours of daily sitting is associated in cardiovascular research with progressively elevated venous pressure in the lower legs, accelerating weakening of the calf muscle pump, increased risk of deep vein thrombosis, and measurable worsening of existing venous insufficiency over time. These are not hypothetical risks. They are documented, quantified outcomes that appear in the medical literature on sedentary behaviour and vascular health. I'm not telling you this to alarm you. I'm telling you this because most people who come to see me, most people watching this video, have never been told the specific mechanism by which sitting damages leg circulation. And I found that when people understand the mechanism clearly, they make much better decisions about how to manage it. So let me walk you through what is actually happening inside your legs during a typical day of sitting. When you sit down, your calf muscles stop actively contracting in the rhythmic way they do when you walk. They're not fully relaxed, some baseline muscle tone remains, but they're not pumping. The calf muscle pump, which pushes blood upward from your lower legs to your heart against gravity, goes from active to passive. Blood begins to pool in the veins of the calf and ankle, slowly, gradually, but continuously. Venous pressure rises. The pressure inside the veins pushes against the vein walls, and the vein walls, particularly in people over 60, where valve function and wall elasticity have naturally declined, begin to allow fluid to seep out into the surrounding tissue. This is the process that creates the swollen, heavy, aching ankles and legs that so many of my patients describe as their constant companion by late afternoon. It is not a mysterious or random process. It is physics and biology, entirely predictable, entirely explainable. Here is something important that most people don't know. This process begins within about 45 to 60 minutes of sitting, not after 3 hours, not at the end of the day. Within the first hour of unbroken sitting, venous pressure in the lower legs is measurably elevated compared to someone who has been walking or doing intermittent movement. And here is the complementary fact. The damage reverses quickly when you move. Within a few minutes of activating the calf muscle pump, walking, standing, doing ankle exercises, venous pressure drops significantly. Blood that was pooling starts moving again. The dangerous accumulation reverses. This creates a picture that should change the way you think about your daily movement. It's not about getting a certain number of steps. It's not about an exercise session. It's about the frequency of your calf muscle activation throughout the day. The question isn't, did I exercise today? It's, how many times today did I pump blood out of my lower legs? Now, I need to address a belief that I encounter constantly because it's well-intentioned but incomplete. Many people tell me, I do exercise. I walk every morning for 30 minutes. Or, I do my ankle exercises in the morning before I get up. and they're frustrated that their legs are still swelling by afternoon. Here is what the research tells us. A single 30-minute walking session in the morning does produce meaningful cardiovascular benefit. It is valuable for your heart, your lungs, your bone density, your metabolic health. But for the specific problem of venous pressure accumulation in the lower legs, its benefit fades within approximately 60 to 90 minutes of sitting. After 90 minutes of sitting, your legs are essentially starting from zero again. The morning walk protected your legs for 90 minutes. Then gravity took over for the next 7 hours. Think of it this way. Imagine your basement has a slow but steady water leak. Every morning you run a sump pump for 30 minutes, remove the accumulated water, and then turn it off. For the next 8 hours, water slowly accumulates again. By evening, the basement is wet again. Running the sump pump harder in the morning or for longer doesn't solve the problem, because the problem isn't the volume of water removed once. The problem is the continuous accumulation that resumes the moment you stop pumping. Your leg circulation works the same way. The calf muscle pump needs to run continuously throughout the day, not powerfully, not vigorously, but regularly. Brief activations, repeated frequently, are what keep venous pressure from building to the point of swelling. This is the scientific basis for what I call movement snacking, and it's the framework that today's entire video is built around. A movement snack is a brief, intentional burst of physical activity, 2 to 5 minutes, done at regular intervals throughout the day. Not exercise, not a workout, maintenance. The way you eat several small meals to maintain blood sugar rather than one huge meal that spikes and crashes. The same principle applied to your leg circulation. The research on movement snacking specifically for vascular health has grown significantly in the past decade. Multiple well-designed studies comparing a single longer session with multiple short sessions distributed through the day have found that the distributed model produces equal or superior results for blood pressure, venous blood flow, and lower extremity edema. For the specific problem of leg swelling in older adults, frequent short activations of the calf muscle pump throughout the day appear to outperform a single morning exercise session followed by prolonged sitting. Let me give you 5 specific movement snacks, each designed for a different situation you're likely to find yourself in throughout the day. Movement snack 1 is what I call the chair reset. This is your foundational snack done while seated. You can do it right now while watching this video without pausing it. Heel raises. Both feet, toes flat, lift your heels as high as they'll go, hold 2 seconds, lower. 10 to 15 reps. Then toe raises. Heels flat. Lift the fronts of your feet toward the ceiling, hold, lower, 10 to 15 reps. Then ankle circles, both feet off the floor. Rotate your ankles in slow, deliberate circles, 5 each direction. The whole sequence, 3 minutes. This is the chair reset, and it should be your response every time 60 minutes of sitting has passed. Movement snack 2 is the kitchen walk. Every single time you go to the kitchen, for water, for a snack, to check the stove, for any reason, you add 2 slow laps around the kitchen or living room before you sit back down. Not a workout, just 2 extra loops, 30 seconds, before returning to your chair. If you go to the kitchen 8 times a day, that's 8 additional 30-second movement breaks, built into a habit you were already going to do anyway. Over the course of a day, the kitchen walk adds approximately 4 to 5 minutes of additional leg movement, without any deliberate planning, without a separate exercise block, and without willpower. It's just a tiny rule attached to an existing behaviour. Movement snack 3 is the counter stand. While you're waiting for anything in the kitchen, coffee brewing, toast toasting, water boiling, microwave counting down, stand at the counter and do calf raises. Hold the counter edge lightly for balance. Rise up onto the balls of your feet, hold 2 seconds at the top, lower. Repeat 15 to 20 times. This is exactly the time you're already standing in the kitchen doing nothing but waiting. The counter stand converts that idle time into a meaningful calf pump activation with 0 additional time cost. Movement snack 4 is the commercial break workout. I need every person watching this video to make a commitment. No more passive commercial breaks. The average commercial break is 2 to 3 minutes. That is enough time for 1 complete chair reset, or 20 seated leg marching steps on each side, or 20 counter-based calf raises, if you choose to stand during the break. The show will still be there when the commercials end. Your veins need those 3 minutes more than your eyes need to watch a pharmaceutical advertisement. If you watch 2 hours of television in the evening, there are typically 6 to 10 commercial breaks. 6 to 10 movement snacks inserted into time you were already spending sitting in front of the television. At 3 minutes each, that's 18 to 30 minutes of movement distributed through your evening, without rearranging your schedule, without setting aside dedicated exercise time, without missing any of the show you're watching. Movement Snack 5 is the morning bed series, the most important snack of the day, and the one that sets up your circulation for everything that follows. Before you get out of bed each morning, before you sit up, before you swing your legs over the side, do your ankle exercises. Lying flat while gravity is still working in your favour, do the heel raises, the toe raises, the ankle circles. 3 to 5 minutes. This activates the calf muscle pump while your ankles are at their smallest, before gravity has had a single second to start pulling fluid downward. It is the best possible start for your legs' circulation, and it costs 3 minutes while you're still in bed. Now let me give you the environmental design changes that make movement snacking automatic rather than effortful. Environmental design is the practice of changing your physical surroundings to make the right behaviour easier and the wrong behaviour harder. It removes the requirement for willpower and replaces it with default behaviour. Change 1. Move your water bottle away from your chair. Instead of keeping it on the side table next to where you sit, keep it in the kitchen or on a counter across the room. Every time you want water, you walk to get it. If you drink 8 glasses of water per day, that's 8 additional short walks, built in, automatic, no decision required. Change 2. Keep your shoes near your door. Research on walking behaviour consistently shows that the single best predictor of whether a person takes an unplanned short walk is the proximity of their shoes. Shoes by the door means 0 friction between the thought, "I should take a little walk," and the action of doing it. Shoes in the bedroom closet means friction. Friction means the thought often doesn't become action. Change 3. Put a sticky note or visual reminder near your most used chair. Something that says, "Hour up, ankle pumps." Every time you glance at it, it cues the behaviour. Over time, the cue becomes unnecessary because the habit is established. But in the first 4 weeks while you're building the habit, the visual reminder is a powerful tool. Let me give you the implementation plan, the 4-week progression that takes you from the idea of movement snacking to the reality of it being an automatic part of your daily life. In week 1, focus exclusively on the morning bed series and the chair reset. Morning exercises every day before getting up. Chair reset every 60 minutes during sitting. Set a timer on your phone. That's it. 2 snacks, consistent every day. The goal of week 1 is to establish the rhythm, to make these 2 moments a fixed feature of your day. In week 2, add the kitchen walk and the canter stand. Every kitchen trip gets 2 extra laps. Every waiting moment at the counter gets calf raises. You now have 4 snacks in your rotation. Keep the timer for the chair reset. Let the kitchen walk and counter stand become attached to the kitchen habits they're linked to. In week 3, add the commercial break workout. Every commercial break during television viewing becomes a movement break. At this point, you have all 5 movement snacks in your routine. Your legs are being activated multiple times per hour in the evening, the time of day when swelling is typically worst. In week 4, the focus shifts from building to calibrating. Notice how your legs feel. Are your ankles less swollen by evening? Are your legs less heavy at the end of the day? If you're still seeing significant swelling despite consistent smacking, consider whether there are other factors, sodium, compression sock timing, elevation, that need addressing alongside the movement snacks. The movement snack framework is powerful on its own, but it works best as part of the complete daily management protocol. Now I want to share something that I think is the most important concept in this entire video. It's a paradigm shift. Most people think of movement as exercise, a dedicated event that happens in a specific block of time. You go for a walk, you do your exercises, you work out. Then you're done and you can sit for the rest of the day. I want you to replace that model with a different one. Think of movement not as an event, but as a background process, like breathing, like circulation itself. Something that happens continuously in small amounts throughout every hour of your waking day. Not intense, not exhausting, just present, regular, ongoing. Your veins need the calf muscle pump to activate regularly throughout the day because gravity is working against them continuously throughout the day. The counter pressure, your movement, needs to be continuous too. Not equal in magnitude, but continuous in frequency. When you internalize this model, when you stop thinking, "I did my exercise this morning, I'm done," and start thinking, "My legs need regular maintenance throughout the day," your behavior changes naturally. You don't resent the timer alarm. You see it as your legs reminding you they need attention. You don't feel like the commercial break exercises are an inconvenience. You see them as the ongoing maintenance that your circulation requires. This shift from exercise as event to movement as maintenance is, I believe, the most important thing I can offer you in this video. Not a specific exercise, not a specific number of reps. The understanding that your legs are not a project to be completed once a day. They are a living system that requires continuous, modest, regular support. And the beautiful thing about the movement snack framework is that it fits into life as it actually is, not as some idealized version. You don't have to rearrange your schedule. You don't have to give up television or reading or rest. You just have to insert brief, regular activations into the life you're already living. 2 minutes here, 3 minutes there. A walk to the kitchen that includes 2 extra loops. Calf raises while the coffee brews. Those small things, done consistently, add up to something significant. I've watched patients transform their leg health, not through dramatic intervention, but through accumulated small choices. 5 minutes of ankle pumps every hour. 2 extra loops through the kitchen 5 times a day. 30 minutes of proper elevation in the evening. The math on movement snacking. If you do 5 snacks of 3 minutes each, that is 15 minutes of calf pump activation per day. Distributed through the day, not concentrated in the morning. 15 minutes of maintained blood flow in your lower legs that would otherwise have been 9 hours of accumulating venous pressure. That 15 minutes changes what your evenings look like. Lighter legs, less swollen ankles, more comfortable feet, more energy for the things that matter to you. That 15 minutes might be the most productive 15 minutes in your day. Thank you for being here. If this video helped you see your daily movement differently, not as something to do once, but as something to maintain continuously, please share it with someone who could use that shift in perspective. Subscribe to Legs for Life for a new video every single week. And remember, every day, in every quiet moment, movement is medicine, no matter how small. Healthy legs mean an independent life. Let's get that blood pumping and those legs moving.